Hey, what's up? Welcome to Dig In with HannaH's Field. We're the show that picks you up where other shows leave you off. To me, the most important part of the meal, the biggest deal of the meal, the eating of the meal. That's what I'm talking about. So on Dig In, we share a meal and a conversation. That's right, Hannah. Thank you so much. So today we got our good brother Skye Allen on. It's an exciting night because Skye's really a big time family, big time family, and co-wrote at least two of the songs, if not three, on the new album Crystal Vision with Hannah. So we're gonna share a meal and a conversation, and we're gonna talk about what his experience has been. So let me tell you about what I made for dinner. I figured my all-time favorite sandwich, and I never ever have them anymore now that I'm vegetarian, is a turkey club. It's like the most perfect sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Like triple decker, some bacon, turkey, it's just like there's 3 pieces of bread. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a big boy. I like to eat. So this is my vegan club sandwich where we have some homemade vegan cheese, some carrot bacon, which is this one right here. And then this is caramelized onion and kale marmalade. Yeah, that's right. So, what's up, Miss Hannah? How you doing?
Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dig In. It looks so
I can't
delicious.
wait. I actually had some carrot bacon to show off as a little plate of it, but I munched it the whole time. So there's no carrot bacon to show off.
Man, that's pretty wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so we're excited. We're having Skye Allen over for dinner tonight. And you want to hear about him? This is
Tell me.
Skye Allen is an inspirational singer-songwriter, opening hearts and minds with conscious lyrics, fresh reggae vibes, experience in communal living around the country and on the big island of Hawaii. Those are some of the things that inspire him to write music. Past activism, backpacking adventures. These are all sources of inspiration we're going to talk about tonight. What could be better conversation? Creating music and planting seeds one verse at a time. So let me go see if I can get Skye on. Why don't you tell him what's in this kale and what's in the cheese and...
Man, I don't know what's in the cheese. I didn't make it, but Hannah made it, so she could probably tell you what's in the cheese. But yeah, man, I got this caramelized onion. Oh, let's take a look at this. I actually have some of this. I didn't eat all this while I was waiting. Ha ha. It's caramelized onion, kale, garlic, caramelized lemon, and then I just blended it up. Yeah, it came out really good. I'm excited to give it a test. So, I'll see you guys later.
Welcome, everybody. Now we are in our dining room. We are going to bring in our very good friend, Skye Allen, and see what he made over there. Let's see if we could get him on the stream. Woohoo!
Hey!
Hey! What's happening?
Nice to see you, sis.
Nice to see you too, brother.
I'm sitting on a bunch of cheese because cheese is like the thing that fills the hole in your soul. 6 ribs in your belly.
Yeah, man. You know what? That's what inspired my sandwich was. I was like, yo, I need to make a badass vegan grilled cheese. So I was like, all right, we're gonna have the cheese off.
It's
cheese
not
special.
real now. So Skye Allen, does vegan cheese fill the hole in your soul, or
If you're vibing like that, sure. I mean, I tried the vegan thing for a while. Vegan cheese is getting better and better and better, in my opinion. They're getting their stuff together when it comes to that.
For sure.
Yeah. So what did you make over there?
I use vegan cheese for my meal. This is definitely not a vegan meal, and it's definitely not a healthy meal, but it's one of my favorites. My mom used to make it for me when I was a kid. Yeah, so I made a cheese fondue.
Yeah.
Oh,
damn.
yum.
Got 3 different kinds of cheese in it. It's got a smoked maple Vermont cheese, an aged cheddar for 2 years from Vermont, as well as a black truffle cheese, also handmade in Vermont. That's where I live. I love it here. Good cheese is plentiful. And then I've kind of just created a little smorgasbord here.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
Things to dip in it. So I've got some jalapeno chicken sausages and some tater tots and some mushrooms and some Brussels sprouts and ham and pickles and pretzels and bread and peppers, broccoli and apples, which is really, really good also in cheese.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
Looks banging, man.
That looks great.
Nice presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's very impressive. Now, I'm just realizing this now. Did you move to Vermont specifically for the cheese?
I mean, it was definitely one of the defining factors in my decision-making process. I mean, I like good cheese, and I'm also a fan of good beer, even though right now I am doing a sober month of November.
Nice.
So I like the culture here. I think fine quality things in general are just really abundant here. There's just really good local businesses making really cool stuff, whether it be, you know, harvesting their own maple syrup to their own vegetables and stuff, or they make cheese and they've got, you know, their own dairy, or there's just a lot of really cool small time little farmers doing really awesome things.
And it's beautiful. It's Vermont. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's the Green Mountains. It's abundant hiking. I hike a lot. I hike weekly. Quarantine just gives you an opportunity to you can't really go out too much, so going into the woods is, you know, a good way to still go out of your house and not be around a bunch of people. And I can drive 5 minutes to the nearest trail.
Hell yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Well, we got people jumping on here, so we just want to say hi to some people that are in the chat. Blessings, Wayward Bill, right on from Colorado. We got, hey, hello, where you guys? Say hi. Angel says hi to you, Skye.
How are you?
Hello, Linda. Aw, thank you. Yay. Yes, Angel was going to do some dancing to some Do Good for us.
Heck yeah.
That's awesome. We can't wait. We can't wait to see that. Yeah. Oh, look who's on there. Miss Christina Holmes.
Yo, big up, girl.
Oh, hello. We miss you. We hope
that
you
baby's good.
Yeah. Love to your family. Love to your family.
Congratulations on the new little one.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Awesome, y'all. Give thanks for tuning in.
What's up, Keith? How's it going, friend?
Oh, where did he go? Oh, there he is.
Let's talk about food.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry I ate stinky vegan cheese in your car. Oh, blessed love, y'all. Give thanks for tuning in, everybody. Some of the comments we can see and some of them we can't. So if we're not bringing your comments on, don't take offense. It's just how our StreamYard works tonight. And we're sending love to all y'all. There are people saying hi. Yes. So, man, I'm excited to just kind of like sit and like vibe. And, you know, Skye's been to what we call, our home is the Cool Ranch is what we call.
That's right.
Skye's been to our home many times and has sat right here on our dining room table. So it's nice to have you back at our table.
Yeah.
That's right. Hey, we didn't do our traditional blessing.
Oh, we don't have any forks because we're eating sandwiches.
Cheers.
God
Yeah,
bless.
we like to cheers with forks at this house.
Yeah. I'm having not a triple decker sandwich, just regular, because I don't think I could handle it. It's so late at night.
Right. I can do it.
I'm saying. So Skye Allen is he's on the new album Crystal Vision. So if you have not heard it, you can check it out anywhere on all streaming platforms. And him and I co-wrote 3 of the tracks on there. Zion. What else? Oh, Mama Ocean. And he's also on Blessings. And so that voice that you hear singing, that's that fantastic, gorgeous male voice, that's Skye. So if you've never met
don't
him,
be fooled.
Actually, we
Maybe.
were doing an interview last week, and somebody's like, "Oh, was that you, Bongo Bliss?"
I'm like, I wish I could sing like that. Damn, no.
So yeah. So let's like just start off by just talking about you, Skye, as a singer. You know, like I said, your voice is fantastic. And so I was listening to you a bunch today just to like prep the vibe. And, you know, sometimes I just forget because we're good friends and we talk all the time. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy and his voice. And so when did you start, singing in life? Like, can you just tell us about like your vocal journey a little bit? Where did it start for you?
Sure. Well, I was definitely born singing. Some doctors might have said that my scream sounded like a note of sorts. And
Oh, look at this baby. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
My mom put me in church choir when I was a kid. I was in church choir ever since I was like literally big enough to stand up there, probably 4, all the way up until I was in middle school to high school. I've really had an affinity for choral music. I love singing with a group of people. That was like definitely one of my big motivators to keep singing back when I was a child, was to sing with a group of 40 people or 100 people in my church choir. We traveled a lot doing a musical that we produce every year, which I had some solos in. As well as we did competitions with our church choir and our school choir. We did state competitions a couple of years. So I got into like the competitive side of it a little bit just to make myself better, as well as I went to Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp and went on a half scholarship to that, and was really blessed to be able to go there for 2 years. I was accepted into their international exchange program to go to Europe. I didn't unfortunately go. It's an expensive program. But yeah, I really feel like being around a bunch of other people singing really influenced a love for music in me, and and specifically singing. I never put too much energy into making my own music up until a few years ago.
Wait, I'm gonna press pause for a second because I want to keep on the singing journey for a moment, because there's a lot of singers that are inspired to kind of start as a career that I know are on here. So can you tell us any hurdles or like just bumps in the road that you've had to overcome as a singer or drive around? Anything that you can think of in your career as a singer, or even just like learning ways to sing, or
well, I guess a couple of things come to mind. Reading music was something that I learned as a child, and it was honestly more of an intuitive process, because when I was learning in choir, I was studying sheet music from a small child, so it kind of came easy to me. But then as I got older, I realized that it was more of an intuitive process versus me actually studying it. And so that was a hurdle for me, kind of realizing that I needed to relearn how to read music and do sight music, as well as looking back, puberty was a huge thing for me as well. Like
changing from a
I went from a tenor to a baritone, and it just totally messed up my whole range, and I had to learn how to go back into my falsetto again.
Yeah.
I had a really great choir teacher. Shout out to Miss Hatch, Stockbridge, Michigan. She's one of the best choir teachers in the world, and she definitely spent a lot of extra time with her students, and I got to learn a lot from her. So there's definitely a couple hurdles there. Also, I never really had stage fright too much, but when it came to like really big things, I realized that I kind of I lack there used to be a lack of confidence there. There used to be like oh my goodness, what is everybody gonna think kind of vibe, and then that kind of went away after I did it for a little while. But those are a couple.
Now, did you have to work on that, like mentally? Was there anything that you had to like prep yourself before a show, or anything that you
could do, or that you could like share with people that maybe do? A lot of people I know have stage fright.
Totally. I do a lot of breathing. I always tell people to breathe. I have to do it a lot because I have a lot of energy built up inside of me, like through like 3/4 of the day. So I feel like that was kind of a thing is just like stepping aside before you, whether it be a show or a speech or anything you're trying to do, just taking to ground yourself helps a lot. I also like to burn sage before I play. It calms me down, grounds me out. I do like to smoke a little ganja before I go on, but I will say that I can't smoke too much because it definitely makes me feel too. I have to, I can't. I've never played on stage inebriated or in an altered state whatsoever because I'm always it's a fear for me.
Yeah,
I feel like that will inflict stage fright. So
well, and
you lose control. When you embark too deep on substance, whatever it is, you relinquish control, partial control to whatever you're going into. You know what I mean? So to me, when you're performing on stage, it's not about necessarily you and your experience. Yeah, it is, but also it's a co-experience we're having with the audience at the same time.
Yeah.
So you take away from the audience when you're not able to put your 100% out there. And, just like anything, the poison's in the dose. Some people might need a shot and they're ready to go on stage and have a great time.
Yeah.
Some people might smoke a little herb and then go on stage. But, you can take things too far because, it's really about being able to put your full self into that. And then also being able to receive and give, from divine out and then from back out, back in and up.
Most definitely.
And you're a guy. You're also a guy. You're guiding. Like you're the crowd is kind of like in your hands. Like you're sort of responsible for their experience. So
yeah, I think music is the universal language, and we speak through energetics and harmonics when we utilize music as that tool. So I like to write intentional music. I like to write music that I can send a message that came into my life and helped me and is still helping me daily. My music is kind of written in third person as prayers, as what I'm seeking / finding along the way. And I think music is that intentional tool that we can use to really change the world and shift each other's perception and consciousness. It just takes the correct awareness to bring about to what you're saying, using your platform for a positive means.
Right on. Absolutely. So I want to play everybody a little bit of music. This is going to be, actually, maybe we'll talk a little bit about it a little bit. This is going to be the song Zion that we co-wrote together. Yeah. And actually, I don't know. Do we want to talk about it before? Or do we want to just play it for people?
We wrote it on ukuleles.
We wrote it on ukuleles.
Do you have the acoustic version of that? Like, didn't you put that out?
Yeah, it's on Bandcamp. It's on my Bandcamp. If you go to skyeallen.bandcamp.com, all my music is up there, as well as the Galactivation album that we recorded together in the Cool Range.
Nice. Well, it'd be cool for people to be able to listen to that version and then listen to the Crystal Vision version too. Because it's like we all played together on both. Both have their own nuances. It's cool. It's cool when you can share a song with another artist and then do it multiple different ways, and each person be able to share it, and it's still like that co-creation thing. It's just
especially being as like me and Hannah didn't know each other whatsoever when we wrote these songs. We met one time at Harry's Hill in Maine, and then she invited me over, and 2 days later we were 3 songs into writing together, and it was just kind of it fell together very synchronistically. It's I love that song. I love how we started it on the ukuleles, and it just kind of started off as like a vision of like, I think I was like, oh, this riff sounds like some like warrior like running through like a field like with a castle, just like him, like he's like running or in front of him, like running towards the battle, and to bring about that revolutionary feel. It's you guys did such an amazing job on it. John did a fantastic job on it.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, that
Mr.
guy is
John Bolduc
insane.
rocked it for
Yeah.
sure.
Insane.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to the day when we record the video and you're riding on the white horse.
Yeah, dude, about it.
So as everybody's listening to this, just imagine the video that one day would be created. And if you have access to horses,
On a beach,
on a beach, on the ocean in Hawaii. All right. All right, here we are. We're just gonna play a little bit of it. This is Skye's verse, and the song's called Zion off of Crystal Vision.
We return to the light, back to the sacred fireside. We will stay and we will fight. The energy between us is alive. I said I'm taking this magical medicine manifesto to the masses. Count the days to pass. Let's stop before Babylon crashes down around us. But our stardust, they were 4 plus 1 truth, 1 try, unify. Let's fly to Zion. Let's fly. Let's fly away to Zion. Let's fly away.
We're pure in heart, pure in mind. We'll leave all negativity and greed behind. Walk on in peace.
Yes, to Zion.
Smooth,
Whew.
my friend, real smooth.
Yeah, so that's Skye Allen's vocals, just in case you've never heard him sing before. Yeah, so we're talking about, there's a little bit of you in Hawaii in that video that we just played. And so you spent a couple seasons out in Hawaii, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm on Big Island as well as Kauai.
Nice. And the last time you went out, you toured a bunch, and am I correct that you pretty much hitchhiked, touring with your instruments and barefoot a lot of the time?
Yes, yeah.
Right on.
Nature child.
Myself and a very good friend of mine hitchhiked around that island and hauled my gear around, and we did it big time. I got a lot of miles on my feet on that trip, and it was an amazing experience to play. I think we played 23 shows out there, and anybody that's been there, it's a vortex. It's an energetic vortex that pulls you in and brings up every bit of energetic in your body. It brings up your physical body, your energetic body, your mental body. It really makes you see yourself in a different light, and you may not like what you see. I definitely went through a lot of life-changing, life-altering awareness, waking up on that island. And Wensley, this is Wensley.
Hi, Wensley.
But yeah, it was an awareness and a wake up call for me to as far as my music goes. There was 2 levels of it in my 2 different trips I went, and to listen to the ocean there provides a lot of messages, and it provides a lot of vision musically for me. And I was the healthiest I ever was, and I was also the lowest I ever was, and I was right in the middle, and I was everything in between. So I think it comes through in my music.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally. The cool thing is that Skye and I were in the same area. I went and I studied yoga out in Hawaii at a place called Kalani for like a 21-day training, and we actually went to some of the same beaches, and out there, it's kind of far from, you can't get a taxi. There's not many cars out where we were, so it's funny. Once we met and we started talking, I'm like, yeah, I was there too. And another song that I started writing out in Hawaii, and then Skye helped me finish the rest and totally transform the song. I had like the chorus, and I really liked the chorus. It's called Mama Ocean. And the verses were completely different. And when we got together and started writing, and we were talking about Hawaii, it was awesome because we took his experiences from just walking on that sand and listening to the messages of the ocean, and it just like transformed the song. So that's another one to listen to check out. But that is some seriously magical land. I'm saying, man.
It brings about an energy in the musicians out there. 3/4 of the musicians out there, at least on Big Island, are making very profound spiritual music, very positive, love light, high vibrational music, and it's a very inspiring group of people to be around. Specifically, just musicians being able to feel like it's okay to make that kind of music or sing that kind of music. I feel like my writing was always kind of in that realm, and then when I was able to share it musically, I not only was able to share it musically, but I was able to share it musically to people that understood what I was saying and could receive it. And I feel like that's one of the biggest hurdles that we come up against. Anybody that makes positive vibrational music is the world is a very fearful place right now, and so naturally people kind of fight that light, so it's an interesting hurdle that we are facing now, especially to be able to share intentional music and medicinal music with people in a world that I think needs it.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And you know what's funny about being in a place that is open to what you're saying, is understanding the message you're trying to create. Sometimes people don't realize, that as a musician or as an artist, there's certain places, where your art might resonate at its brightest point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes that can be one place. I don't think people realize that you can be in a place, you could live in a place, or you can occupy a space that is in a spot that the collective area of people, not everybody, but the collective area, might not understand your art, might not understand your message. You take this art to another place,
Yeah.
and it's like, whoa, people get it, oh my God, things are flying around. It's, so when you're in a place like that as an artist,
Environment.
and you're in this like ultra flow, like you're supercharged, and it really like can fill you up and gives you something, which is special, when you can connect to that energy.
Totally.
Yeah, big ups to Hawaii. So, what are some of the artists that you were chilling with or inspired by when you were out there? Can you just share some, just so the audience members can say, man, I need some more positive music in my life. Maybe give us your top 1, 2, 3.
Sure. If you don't know Mike Love, he's doing fantastic, amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
Reggae artists that in the scene right now. I think we also, I was really fortunate to play with an artist named Faye Adinda. She's amazing. Her music is very, very spot on, and things that you just need to hear. Satsang, if you don't know who those guys are, definitely check out Satsang. They're fantastic and have a really bright message. Wookie Foot, if you don't know Wookie Foot, you should. They're definitely the grandfathers, and they really are a guiding light for a lot of musicians that are doing this work. I also really big ups to Paul Isaac.
Big ups to Isaac.
Food music revolutionist,
Turmeric, growing turmeric.
He's a fantastic human being. He just farms and makes music about farming, and it's a revolution worth living.
Yeah, we did. We finished this turmeric.
Yeah. Paul brought some turmeric on tour with him last year when we were at Project Earth. We linked up with him, did that, and then another little backyard festy afterwards.
Cornstalk in Iowa.
He had some powdered turmeric with him. We were able to hook up and get some of that.
I was so really sad cool. When we were done with it. I was like, I need more.
Well, you know, and it's like blessed with that energy of the island where it came from. You know, it's been grown, processed. It's coming from Paul's yard. You know what I mean? His whole farm, where he's got all his energies playing guitar on the porch and stuff. If you don't know him, look him up.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? He's like sitting there in the field, like on the porch of his house. You know, it's just all that vibe. And so we got to eat some of that. It was cool.
He does a lot of really great work with Tubby Love and Amber Lily. And they're fantastic human beings. Got to hang out with them out on the island, and they're beautiful musicians, and they have a lot to say. So definitely check out the messages that they have to offer as well. That's a dope. That was hitching to Pololu.
Oh, you remember where you were hitching to?
Yeah, that's outside of the north part of the island. That's kind
Do
of.
you remember who picked you up that day? Do you remember who picked you up on that ride?
I don't know who got it. Oh man, I don't know.
Hey man, why don't you jump on in my car? Let's go. Where are you going, to a show? Come on.
So many rides, man. I mean, one cool ride that we got out there was I got picked up by this lady in a pickup truck. She said, "You can ride with me, but if you see whales out there in that ocean, you better knock on the window and stop me so we can look at them." And I'm like, "All right." And then we saw a couple whales breaching, and I knocked on the door. She immediately pulled off. She handed us a couple of beers. We sat in the back of the truck and watched these whales jump for 30 minutes. It was
wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That is beautiful. Majestic. I'm just going to check in with a couple more people that are saying what's up. Oh my goodness. Mayana says, nice singing, Skye. Aw, thank you, Miss Rachel. Big ups to Higher Grounds. Rachel says the taste of your voice is delicious. Now I want a pineapple.
Damn.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I love
that's Joe Jeffrey. You've been done some hitchhiking yourself, huh? Oh man, beautiful. Hi, Paul.
What up, Paul?
Much love, friend. Much love.
Yo, Jop Pitt on the control tower. What's up, friend?
Yeah.
Hey, Jop Pitt looks like Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I don't even know what Elon Musk looks like.
I don't think so. I don't think I do either. We'll have to check that out, man. Mr. John Pitt, our straight up bass player. You can see a picture of him right there on the screen. Mr. John Pitt Bleto, rocking the bass on that song, Zion. Give thanks for all your hard work and funkiness, friend. Mm-hmm. We got cousin saying aloha.
Oh, cuz
our cousin used to lived in Maui.
Yep.
Actually, before I went out there, before I went to study yoga, I went and visited her.
I never got to visit her.
No, you didn't. That was I found your love rainbow. I found you. Hello, Michael. Much love, and yes, rainbows. Rainbow Road, take me home, man. I'm saying. Yeah, so that's the vibe. So let's transition a little bit. Let's talk about songwriting. But when I first met you, I listened to a bunch of your tracks, which were really awesome. There's a song called Love Connects Us All, a song called Remember, and I believe, did you record those? Was it Colorado that you recorded those tunes in?
Yep, with David Devine. He produced those for me, as well as Look Inside. Those three were released first. And those are my most professional tracks thus far.
Yeah, those tracks are they're just awesome, again and again.
When you first played me that, I don't even remember which one it was. Any of them, I was blown away. I'm like, who the heck is this dude? It was hot.
I'm like, oh, well, his name's Skye Allen, and he's coming to our house. I hope that's okay. He's gonna sleep over. Is that cool?
Sure.
It was, honestly, it was like a strange situation. I don't really invite people to my house. I'm kind of even though I love being social and I love people. I was born under the sign of Cancer, so my home is my sanctuary, and I'm a loner in a lot of ways. But there was just something. We met, and it was just I don't know. I just got a message. We have to write songs together, and luckily this guy was like, sure, all right, have him over.
This young dready buck coming in here.
Yeah, what's up with that? Get my broom ready in case I gotta sweep him out.
The first thing that Bliss said to me when I was in your house within the first 5 minutes of meeting him was, "Don't leave a mess in my kitchen." And then I said, "Yes, no problem." And he's like, "Don't leave a mess in my kitchen."
No, man, you know that thing is clean right now.
Yep.
Serious.
Mine is not.
Oh.
It's true.
Oh,
it's totally
man.
true.
Yeah,
Take that serious.
I feel like when we wrote together, you were also kind of guiding me into a different process, because we both had completely different processes, I feel like, and you kind of helped me see a more organized way, and you also, like, you're the first person that I let have free access to all my journals.
Which, again, isn't it right? It's like, you think about it, everybody out there, like, you meet somebody, like 2 weeks later, they're like, opening your journal. I mean, that was a pretty trusting thing.
I don't let anybody read those. I don't let anybody read them. And you literally didn't just read them. You're like, this sucks. No, this not this one. No, not this one either. No. Yeah, this one. You know?
But but set the scene. I wasn't reading them like, oh, wow, shit, and that happened to you? And oh my God, she did that? Like, it wasn't like that. It was like, literally, I was just like scanning for like, he's super poetic. So I was just scanning for like really cool poetry lines. And I'm like, okay, yeah, like right here, let's work on this, There was push and pull and resistance. It was not all like.
It was much needed. I needed somebody to like pick me apart and pick apart my writing and like kind of force me into a state of creation, which it wasn't a forced thing because we fell into it so naturally. But it really kind of helped me see a different side of songwriting. Before it was very natural and channeled. That's how my first 3 songs arrived, is they were very channeled. And so.
Now, did the producer? So they were very channeled, and did you journal that first, or how was that done? Those first tunes.
They came out as well. One came out all in one piece in about 20 minutes. It was like I believe it was "Love Connects Us All," and I got up in the morning. I got a cup of coffee. I sat on my porch, and it was just like I knew I needed to write. And it was like a really strong urge to write, and it was all on the paper. Whereas like Remember, there was a couple of lines that came from listening to the ocean at my favorite beach, and that inspired me to write that song. And it was very just kind of like inner messages, and I didn't really put too much honest like effort into writing the songs. They kind of just wrote themselves. And then when I brought them to David in Colorado, he was able to lay them out in such a way that, I could be like, I want to hear this, or I want the feeling like, you see me on the beach and we're just singing to me and my ukulele, but then I want it to spiral up and up into the clouds. And he could take that and know what I meant and make it in the sound.
Mm-hmm. He was really a really great producer. I've never met him, but just hearing those tracks, it's like,
I think a good producer not only, mixes your music well, creates the story that's in the song, through how they mix it. If you know what I mean, if you let a producer really do something great, do what they do. Because a lot of times we get in there as musicians, we're broke. I got to get in there and record 17 songs. Yeah. I got a day and a half worth of money to pay you. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And that includes mixing. You know what I mean? And the producers are like, fuck.
Yeah.
They're geniuses. But if you let them actually do their art, their actual genius,
totally,
they can bring out the character of the song. The way they mix it.
I was very blessed to not have a time crunch or anything. He actually donated those 3 songs to me, and I gave him a couple verses on a couple of his tracks, and that was what he wanted in trade. He just kind of wanted to set me off on the right foot. And I'm very
awesome. So he makes beats. Is he like also a beat maker? Does he make those beats?
DJ Hieroglyph is his DJ name, and he makes his own. He produces his own music, and then he also spins and mixes, and he's kind of an all-around DJ producer. He's also a fantastic drummer. I played at a Rise Music Festival. Was honored to play for a decent crowd there on a bigger stage, and it was just gonna be me by myself, and he kind of came in clutch and played the drums for me, so gave it a little bit more oomph. Me and a little ukulele.
Nice ukulele drums. That's a good setup. Now these days, how have you been? I know you've been playing a bunch in Vermont. Like, what's your setup these days? Say when you're playing solo.
Yeah. I've been playing a lot of brewery gigs and bar type gigs, so I've been really like quarantine. The first few months there gave me a huge opportunity to just really dive into my RC300 looper pedal.
Yeah.
It forced me to like get better and really just like sit there for hours and allow my mind to sync to my pedal, if that makes any sense. So that helped, and I also realized the need for learning covers. Any aspiring musicians out there, like, write your originals, make your originals, drive your originals, but also learning covers really does elevate your presence as far as getting gigs and keeping people engaged in a bar or somewhere where they're not necessarily there to see you. So if you play songs that they know or recognize and you play them a little different, it helps a lot. And the looper station really helps me do that. So it's just me and a looper station, and I have an egg shaker, and I have a melodica that I play, and I have a cajon that I sit on and I play that. So I loop my guitar and my ukulele, and it's a lot of fun. I like the looper station. It allows me to do a lot with a little.
You got really good on it too. It was cool. We were fortunate enough to kind of know Skye before he had the looper and like see him, doing sets with us, like playing ukulele and singing, which is a beautiful sound for you as well. And then to see him get his looper and actually like do some shows, like some of your first looper shows. And then like the last time I came up to Vermont and saw you play, I was like, man, this guy got so good. Like you've just been, you've really been working on it, which is awesome and super inspirational. I have the same looper and I have so much to learn on that thing. I'm looking forward to some winter snowy days hanging out with my looper and probably calling you and be like, how do I do this?
Yeah. It's endless, really. Those things really allow you to kind of have an infinite canvas to play with and create whatever is in your head.
Yeah, man. So we got Job Pitt saying, I love these freaking stories. I remember when me and Bliss were chilling at the front of the stage at Harry's. This is Harry Brown's farm. And we didn't know where Hannah went. And turned out she was by the big fire meeting Skye. He was just instant family. Oh, man.
Thanks.
That's so awesome. It's so true, man. So true. And we got some more Harry Brown's family. Much love to Carrie. Wow. Y'all are funny. Much love to all you watching. Thanks, guys.
Yo, you should do a flavor check.
I'm saying, man, something about that.
I can tell you how my flavors went.
Well, you gotta wait.
We interrupt this conversation for a flavor check. Flavor check.
So how was yours? Let me see your plate. This always happens. Although I am eating faster. Okay, this is delicious. First of all, really good job.
Thank you.
The kale. What was it? What'd you call it? A marmalade? What was
Marmalade?
it? Kale marmalade with onions and kale, and it's like majorly lemon. Like you didn't like fresh squeezed, yeah.
No, man, I took like maybe like a quarter of a fresh lemon with the skin on. And diced it up real small.
Oh.
Threw it in and caramelized that with the onions.
Oh, it's super, super lemony. It's awesome. And I made the vegan cheese, and that was just cashews and tahini, miso, garlic, lemon juice.
It was
Yeah, you know, but yeah, what else is there?
And
Oh, and the
the
carrot
bacon.
bacon. The carrot bacon.
bacon, man.
Yeah.
Oh, carrot bacon, yum.
Carrot bacon. That's what he did. Carrot bacon on the grill.
Mhm.
Mandolin, cut it up on the mandolin real thin, and I don't know what you.
Blanched it off
and
with
a
some water, and then
Yep.
dredged it in a little bit of a seasoning, some mesquite seasoning, and then
Yum.
cooked it in the skillet on the grill.
Special Bliss mesquite seasoning.
That's right.
That he won't tell us the. I actually saw the
Uh-huh,
secret.
no,
I
you
saw.
didn't.
I did. I saw the secret.
But it might be for sale soon on HannaH'sfield.com.
You never know.
That's
It's
right.
quite possible. It's quite possible. So listen,
Wait, ask him
Fondue.
how about his flavor.
I'm
yeah.
about to talk to the boy.
All right,
you know,
all right.
I'm jumping on the
All
microphone
right,
here.
all
Listen,
right.
you know,
Okay,
I'm the
then
food
I'll
guy.
just eat my food.
Just eat your sandwich.
Fine.
So I'm curious. I'm curious about the fondue. Traditionally, fondue would have like white wine. Did you put some white wine in yours?
I do not use the white wine. I make it. My mom makes it, which is very southern. I'm sure. She does. So it's basically sour cream cheese, a can of the cheddar soup base from like either Campbell's or Progressive or whatever, and then I use 3 different kinds of really nice cheese, and then a little bit of milk, and then the secret ingredient that really makes it pop is the onion soup mix. It gives it like a really ridiculous flavor. Just makes you like lick your lips and want to eat a whole bowl, knowing that you're eating a whole bowl of cheese.
Listen, I'm full and I'm drooling over here thinking about that bowl of cheese. Like, there's some left. I could get myself some of that broccoli.
My nose is stuffed up just thinking about it. I'm saying.
Oh man,
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, I have to talk too about this. Is
what you got there?
cranberry? We took some cranberries, cooked them up, pureed them with some maple syrup, and then we mixed it with iced tea. So like cranberry iced tea, which was in our refrigerator all week. So
nice. I made a mocktail earlier with a Red Bull and some pineapple juice.
Nice.
Hey, mine are coconut water and then some whatever juices in the fridge. That's like my little cocktail, you know. Like, some ice, and I'm like, oh, so good, refreshing, so tropical.
Bubbles. I really like seltzer water. Seltzer water is my go-to.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about community. You're like a superhero in I just feel like I'm bringing people together. I think it's like one of your superpowers. And yeah, totally. And we experienced it there. Skye and our friend Angelica through a gathering called a Galactivation last summer. And it was awesome. It was just a beautiful gathering. And you were around. I don't know like exactly what you could tell us the story of your involvement in helping start the Hive, which is a communal center. Can you tell us about the Hive and like just your involvement and how you were around when that place started, and maybe just like why is it such a good idea to live communally if that's something like you feel you can do?
Sure. Well, I guess let me start with why it's a good idea to live communally. I think there's a really easy answer to that, and that's purely that look at the way the world is working right now and ask yourself, is it working right now? And most people can say no, it's not working very well. And I think there's a lot of reasons for that, but one of the reasons is that we've lost our tribal mentality. We've lost our attachment to supporting one another in that fashion. And so as people kind of separate from one another, and as our government and our media and society tries to separate us even further, that's intentional to me. And I think that when it starts being intentional that they're separating us, that's when there's even more of a need for communal living. It's more efficient when it comes to environmental footstep. It's more efficient when it comes to having mental stability in a lot of cases, especially for people that need other people around for a support system, which I think is pretty much everybody. If you say that you're a complete loner, that's cool. and everything. But I'm sure that there is a time when somebody could hold some space for you. I do believe that it's also a way that we can change the world in a positive direction. We can work together to create a farm community, to a dairy, to whatever you are trying to accomplish, whether it be art or farming or anything in that regard. Having multiple people working towards the same goal is efficient. So I guess my involvement with the Hive started with a inspiration and a dream that I've always had, which was to start a community, a commune. I'd been on a couple throughout my activism. I lived on a commune in New York after Occupy that was didn't work so well, and worked in other ways that I kind of kept and wrote notes in my little head book, and went to a lot of rainbow gatherings. And so I always had this mission to want to be able to create a commune. I met Josh in a bar in Salem, Mass. We met. It was a Dead show. We met. I was talking about my vision. He was talking about his vision, which was exactly the same. He said, "It's funny because you're talking about this vision of starting a commune, and I'm just about to buy this huge piece of property with a big, huge house on it, and it's got a huge communal space and all these things." And he said, "I've always wanted to start a community." And 2 months later, I was moving in with my then partner and my daughter. We were the first to move in. We moved in before Josh did, and we basically making the call out to our community. I made a Facebook post that like, "Hey, you all want to make community happen? We talk about it all the time. We talk about how we want a place to grow food together and live tribally and create a space for, music festivals and celebrations to intentional living and growth. And here's your opportunity." I had one person show up who I did not even know to help me start the garden out of all the community that could have showed up. So that kind of showed me that what brings in community is a environment in which people can celebrate and love each other, and what better place than a festival. So I threw my first festival, Hive Drive, at the Hive, with the help of the community within the festival community, as well as Josh and several other people jumped in to make it work. It just kind of started building from there. I operated an art gallery for a while at the festivals and was promoting the Hive through that, bringing in musicians, bringing in more people to kind of make it grow. We had several festivals there. We had a couple before I left that I was a big part of. And when I went to Hawaii, I was called to go there. My spirit was dragging me there, and it was obviously just to start making music and change my life in the way that I did, for better and for worse. So the community still stands strong today. They've kind of changed directions a couple of times, and I think with community, it's all a learning process. We're all rewiring our brains at that point, trying to undo the damage that society has done. And so we're all just trying to break that conditioning, and sometimes there's problems, but we can handle it together.
We have Emily jumping on saying, the Hive, right? Emily lives there? Is that Emily that lives there?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. She's going, the Hive. Much love, man. Much love. You guys sound like you're doing amazing things.
Man, we got to see Josh.
Yeah,
like
we
2
did.
weekends ago.
We did.
We had another similar type property.
Yep. Sacred Nectar in New Hampshire. They're doing some, oh my God, the land is magical. You just I felt at home the minute I got there. Got a lot of messages from the forest, and the people there were just tuned in on a whole nother level to each other, to themselves, to nature. It was beautiful to experience that. But yeah, we got to see Josh there, and it was cool because we haven't actually ever been to the Hive. We met Josh at Here Comes Sunshine, or at Cheryl's. I don't think it was Here Comes Sunshine, and maybe one other place. But it was just beautiful to connect to him in that way, and we were. Yeah. It was cool. So that's that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I'm sure.
I think these communities that are existing right now, these places, these sanctuaries, I feel like are holding space for what could be in the future and what maybe is about to happen in the future. These all places are seed pods, you know, and everybody go into them. And it was cool, the experience we had, because we were meeting people from all different parts of the country. You know,
there was a lot of actually like there was a handful of people that were living in other communities and were actually leaders in other communities.
And now everyone's
coming together.
You know, they're coming together. They're talking about their experiences. They're figuring out ways to make them better, to make their own places work better, to do more of it. It spreads. And so like when you plant that seed, eventually I feel like there's a cosmic energy being released that is, you know, helping humankind. And maybe it's not that we turn into like, you know, some hippy dippy like communal living country, but maybe all of a sudden it activates something and we become way more conscious and we become way more helping of one another, less competitive with each other, you know, kinder to one another, you know, and willing to go in your driveway and pick up your newspaper and then you see your neighbor and say, yo, what's up, Jim? Or whatever, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And I big ups like the people like, and Emily's telling us the good thank you. You can actually check out the Hive Farm and Community Space. They do have a lot of amazing, super conscious events happening there and online. So definitely check it out. Some yoga and all sorts of ceremonies. So it also big ups to people that are living that way. Cause, you know, I think about it and I've been invited into some spaces, just kind of in life. And my parents are still super hippies, but you know, they're straight up the hippies from the 60s. And, when my father and mother met, they drove cross country to California because my mother's stuff was on a bus and was at a commune in California because she was planning on moving there. So I feel like I come from those roots, but I also feel like when I think about it, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I'm a super loner. I'm like, I don't know if I could handle it. Like I could handle it if I had my own little tiny house. But I just like big ups to people who are doing it and making it work. And I know from talking to people, it's, you know, again, it's challenging, but how else can we like heal the world and understand each other if we're not trying to live in it together and communicate about silly things like
I think about this
dishes and bathrooms, right?
Yeah,
That's
right.
what Josh is telling us.
Oh man. But I think about this a lot, right?
Yeah.
Is when you're in a shared space with other people, there's an energy there. There's a current. Makes you be more energetic, makes you be more active. I find that with myself. If I'm home and it's just me and you or just me, I'll go like hide under the sheets. You know what I mean? I'm like reading a book or watching a movie or something. If other people are around, I'm way more active. Maybe I'll get into a little project.
Right.
Oh, you know, you mean be tinkering around, and then someone might see you tinkering and they're like, hey, you know, that looks cool. Let me see that. And then they take a look at it and then they go tinker with something. And so, you know, being in that sort of living space, you know, whenever we've had friends, you know, staying here for extended periods of time and stuff, there's a lot more going on in the house. There's a lot more going on, a lot more activity because there's more people.
Turns into a little fairy party real quick.
Oh my God, it gets out of control.
Or just flying around the giant's head, just poking him in the nose.
I'm telling you, I'm outnumbered.
We have fun fairy parties. He's got to go hide under. Where's Bongo Bliss? I think he's sleeping.
He went to bed.
We're gonna make another pot of coffee, right? Skye, write some songs.
He's in the hammock, I think.
Man, so I want to talk a little bit about your like major, huge part of just being a part of the Crystal Vision project.
Yeah.
You know, one, the most, not the most important thing, but I think one of the most important things was we were all here at the Cool Ranch hanging out. I think you must have been here for a show, and we're in the process of making the album and
recording,
and we had like just a list of possible names, right?
for the album.
Yeah, totally. And go ahead. You want to tell us?
No, I just, you know, just like with everything, it's like you're like, how do you sum up this body of work? How do you put a title to it to tie it all together? And so you're like, well, how about this? How about that? How about this? How about that? And then of course a list starts. And then, we're asking, Japid, we're asking Little Lion, what do you guys think? We're, putting it out to some of our, core people that are, the HannaH's crew, Poppins and, Paul and everybody. And
But Skye was here, and we're just like randomly shooting ideas for album names like all weekend, pretty much. Right?
Yeah, we're like, yo, Skye, check out this list. We're working on names. Rah, rah, rah.
And then we left. I went to like drive Skye back to Vermont, I guess, at the time. And we went hiking. We stopped in Massachusetts and went hiking. And we came down from the mountain, and you were just like, I don't even know. You're going to have to tell me how it came to you. But you're just like, how about Crystal Vision? How?
Yeah, it came to me because I had the idea originally to connect a crystal to each song on the album, and then I was like, oh, well, Crystal Vision, and then I think I spent like 20 minutes rattling off like all the amazing things we could do, and you're like, well, that costs a lot of money, and I don't know, this seems Bliss is gonna hate it, but. And then, we kind of like facilitated the idea into existence over the last few months, man.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is, so Hannah comes home and is like, oh my God, Skye and I just came up with the title of the album. She's like talking like 1,000 miles an hour, which is rare for her. Usually she's like the chill one. And she's like, it's this, it's that. We're going to have Crystal with every song. And it's right around. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, what's her name again? Crystal Vision. I'm like, yo. I'm like, and all of a sudden a lot of imagery came. I was like, yeah, man. I'm like, that's it.
He did. He saw it right away. I was trying not to tell him all the ideas, not to scare him, but yeah, you're like, yeah, it just clicked.
It just clicked.
It clicked. And
with all that we're into, I always got a crystal in my pocket or two. There's a million crystals at our house. We believe the power of crystal energy. Here you go. I just pulled this Herkimer diamond out of my pocket.
Yeah. Big ups to Mama Strawberry.
Yeah, man. That's a strawberry one. Totally. Yeah. But, so when we decided the Crystal Vision and embark on this journey, it was big. And there was a lot involved to it, not just the name of the album. Now, all of a sudden, all this stuff is coming. And we're like, holy cow. The crystal grid, the crystals, the meditation, all of a sudden you're like, oh, wow. And as this crystal grid is like unfolding itself to us, piece at a time and, becoming itself, you start realizing that it's not just a physical human being's energy that created this. There's also a real spiritual elemental energy also that helps co-create this and really makes it a powerful tool.
I agree. It's a definite tool for alchemy. I think that's really the step that this album made, was moving from displaying the message, illuminating the message, bringing that message out there, to actually giving people a way to utilize the energy that was in the music, and digging deeper into the mantras and yourself, and that's kind of what we're all trying to accomplish here, is consciousness expansion and upliftment. And whether you believe in Jah or a creator of any kind or no creator at all, I feel like almost everybody can feel the power of crystals. They're something that's physical and elemental that you can hold in your hand, and they affect you whether you believe in them or not. And so, I don't know, I think that this album is kind of taking a big step in that way to create alchemy, to create a process in which the musical energy and magic that's within that can be used and fortified.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Beautifully put, for sure. Yeah. And yeah, you feel it, when you just...
what's funny is, so, we did the pre-order campaign and stuff. And Hannah's got to mail out all these crystal grids. You know, she got packages of them all. They're all wrapped up individually. She goes to the post office. She's like, and the girls at the post office are like, no, why'd you bring this in? And then they're like ringing it out. And they're like, God, I don't know. I'm just feeling great. I'm in a good mood. I don't know what just happened. And Hannah came home and told me, I'm like, yeah, because they're dealing with all those grids, man. They're all activated. All the crystals are tied together to the mother crystal, which is anchored. And they're working. Just having this stinking thing in your house is working. It's working, people. Get the grid. It's working.
Yeah. So if you do want your crystal grid, you know, if you want it for the holidays or whatnot, definitely feel free to order them through our Bandcamp. That's the spot. And if you have any questions, you can just message us Facebook or hannahsfieldbooking@gmail.com. It also comes with the CD, which Skye Allen is on three of these tracks. That's not just like a feature, man.
That's not a guest appearance.
This dude's part of the vibe. He's like a huge part of the vibe, you know, not only, you know, writing and vocally and, you know.
Dig In was a Skye Allen idea, if I recall. You know what I mean? So what you guys are witnessing right here, this fool over here co-created it. You know? So,
yep, along with my Ollie Poppins. That was her name idea too. Yep, we got a great team. But totally. We were on the phone many nights discussing how this crystal grid was going to come to play.
Yeah, and what I love about it is that you guys created it. I mean, it was something that you culminated and prayed over and you know, allowed your energy to work and create. You know, Bliss drew out the crystal grid by hand. You know, Hannah, you've written all these meditations, and I mean, not to mention the album at all. You know, like you've created the entire process in which this works and how it aligns to the chakras and how it aligns to the elements. And you know, we had a whole slew of crystal experts study the album extensively to find out which stones, you know, are matching with the energy of each song. And there was a lot of work put into this, that everything down to, you know, when you receive the package in the mail, all the paper, all the cardboard, every bit of it was hand screen printed by Bliss as well, you know, and created with intention. So I think that's also really cool. You know, I don't see that very often.
I'll tell you what, this album is a real tribute, from the music all the way to the packaging, of our super team of friends that surround us.
Super team. We gotta mention like one of the superest team members, Mr. Kevin Salvatore. Those of you might know him as Sal, and he is the founder of Robber Baron's T-shirt and Apparel, which is our sponsor tonight, and also a big part of like the most major part of the packaging of the crystal grid.
Yeah, we wouldn't have the hand screen printed boxes if it wasn't for Sal.
Right.
A lot, the logos, Sal is my best friend.
Wait. Let me just do this commercial
real
fast.
Go ahead, do it.
So, just heads up, if you want any of these T-shirts, we got some foodie T-shirts, superfoods, pizza,
Christmas gifts.
Yeah. So
I've drawn a lot of these T-shirts. The shirt I'm wearing tonight is a graphic I drew.
Yep. And so use code SAVE10. This is for all you special people out there who are watching on Dig In, and get 10% off your order online. RobberBaronsInc.com. But for sure, like real freaking artists just doing things like local Connecticut based, and not to mention he helped create the whole packaging for Crystal Grid and the graphics, you know, on the album again, along with David Dipp, the artiste, and man. So we just want to give thanks to the team that made this whole thing work.
It's cool to be able to put something together, right? Like I said, from music to packaging to everything, we put art forward. We didn't cut the song short. We didn't say we're not going to have this person play on the album. We didn't
say Skye Allen can only sing on one song. You can sing on three. That's cool.
It was all on what it needed to be and how the album needed to come out. And we did not hold back on art. and it should show even all the way through to the packaging. You know what I mean? Like screen printing the boxes. I mean, it was like, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. We're gonna have these crystal grids. It's not gonna be a photocopied piece of paper. It's gonna be a wood burn. You know what I mean? The art is a really big part and an important part of this album.
Yeah, it is. I just got to tell you, Dave Roberts, is that your papa?
That's my dad.
He says, I love you,
Aw.
Dad.
Look,
Nice to meet you. Thanks for having your son. We love him. Right on, right on. Well, let's just leave some parting words. We could talk to you all night, as we will just have to have you back on. And again, come out to Hannah's Field shows. Skye Allen is often, when we're lucky enough to have him up, singing with us. And then what are some ways that people out there can listen to more of your music?
Yeah, totally. All my tracks are on Bandcamp for download if you wanted to support me in that way. Also, check me out on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, Google Music, all of those guys. If you really want to hang out with me on a more personal level, I have a Patreon. If you want to look up my name on Patreon, that is a good way. I have some monthly stuff going on there. I'm in the process of writing an album this winter. I'm going to be taking a lot of space and time to do that. So I'll have some new music coming your way. And I haven't said it yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to go with John for this album. So
Nice.
Oh, damn.
That'll be awesome.
Hell
That'll be so awesome.
sure you guys will be on it as well.
We look forward to hearing the new tracks and vibing and creating some more music. So let's just leave with maybe some little bit of inspiration. Let's see. I think let's just go with a line from Love Connects Us All, that we are capable of so much more. We are capable of so much more. Can you just leave us with a little bit of inspiration for somebody who might not be tapping into their capability or their full potential right now, either as themselves individually or the human race? We are capable of so much more. What could they do?
Well, I think first of all, it comes to the flame that's inside of each one of us. It's something that's always there, even when the world around us is telling us that it's not. We are light beings. We are very powerful, very strong. We're very capable beings. And they want us to believe that we're not. And the more that we give into their mentality of separateness and whether that be by color or gender or political opinion, we are not going to take it anymore. We have to realize how powerful we really are. And I think the one thing that we can always do is notice that flame is there, not in ourselves only, but as well as everybody around us. So reminding each other how capable we all are. If you see that flame flickering in somebody else, bring some firewood, bring it and bring some kindling and flare it up and get it going again. Whether that's just smiling or sending them a message on Facebook or a funny meme or anything. Right now is weird. It's strange. We're all going crazy. We're looking like we're going to jump into another quarantine, deeper quarantine here this winter. And I just pray for the health and safety of everyone that's out there in our community and abroad. I think we can make it through this. We just have to light each other's flames and keep our own ignited and powerful and just consuming all of the fear that happens to make its way through.
Right on.
Well
Beautifully put. A beautiful way to leave us off. We thank you so much, Skye Allen, for being with us tonight, and be well until we see you next on this journey. Thanks for spending time with us. Blessings.
Aloha. I love you guys.
Aloha.
Yeah.
Man, that was awesome.
That was a hard one because we could just chill with Skye all
I
night.
know, like that went by really fast.
And then we
And
had to just clip off
usually
his 90s
he's
studio.
like hitting me under the table being like, okay, we're like 15
No.
minutes over, come on. And he didn't even say anything. He
No,
was just
because I'm just chilling with my bro.
but it's all good. We're so grateful that you tuned in to another episode of Dig In with Hannah's Field. And we hope you enjoyed the carrot bacon vegan grilled cheese double decker sandwich.
Love food.
Yeah, and we're going to be starting a contest really soon to win your very own crystal grid. If you really want one and you're like, I just can't right now, I don't know if I there's going to be one giveaway this holiday season. So check it out. The place to check it out is to go sign up on the Hannah's Field family page and the Facebook. If you haven't requested to join that, that's where it's all going to be going down. So that's the story. Again, we thank our friend Skye Allen for being so amazing, and make sure you check out his music as well as his 3 tracks on Crystal Vision. You can listen to it now on Spotify or YouTube or Bandcamp or anywhere you can think of, pretty much.
Pumping.
It's pumping.
It's pumping.
Yeah.
And look, I've already said it enough. The album is stinking awesome. When Skye first came in to the studio, we know how he sings, we know his voice, we know it's gonna be great. Dude goes into the booth, lays down his track. You know, they work on it, a couple takes or whatever. Comes out, I'm like, dude, came with it. Like that I've never seen. Smooth vibe, like listen to it. Listen to the damn album. Get it, download it, stream it, order it. It's good. You'll like it.
Yeah. So much love, y'all. Thanks for chilling with us tonight. Next week, we'll have a very special guest. We actually know our guest next week. It is Tala Durso.
One of the crystal experts.
One of the crystal experts from a new page in Middletown, Connecticut, and a beautiful singer in her own right. And one of the people that helped match the crystal energy with each song. So we're going to find out what that process was like. I
heard I got to come with my A game with the food.
She's a really good cook. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to step it up a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what she's gonna make, but you yeah. You gotta you could make a sandwich this week, which was really good, but you know. Much love, y'all. We'll see you on the next episode of Dig In, growing good vibes. Hannah's Field, always just
Love
keep
all
them
you
going
guys.
forward.
Positive vibration.
Yes, I am.
Be nice.